But along the lines of that conversation was happening earlier, I think my opinion is very, very malleable, I guess, at least until I see some of those RSL games and Stars of Glory games as well, before I'm more confident. Oh, let's go! Oh, they're gonna go get some KBBQ after this. Ah, it's gonna be beautiful. And spawning in the right-hand corner here. Spawning in the right-hand corner here of Tokamak, we have the Italian Zerg player. We have the red Zerg representing Basilisk. It is Reynor. And spawning in the bottom-hand corner, we have the French Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. They're fighting over who's gonna pay. Really, who should pay is Trigger, because I don't see Trigger here, by the way, in the bracket. But if you're in the chat, it's Gamma time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. Once again, just for some context for those that just now tuned in, if you don't know, both Clem and Reynor are in Korea. They're both in Korea. Not just them, Trigger is there as well, which is why I brought him up. And you know, as they're competing, as they're playing against each other, I don't see Trigger on the bracket, so I feel like he should be the one paying. Okay, I just look, someone is slacking when it comes to the WardiTV Monday. Okay, SMH, my head. S the Trigger. But I do know that this time Astray is not in Korea. So from my understanding, it's just Clem, Reynor, and Trigger. But if anyone else is privy to who else is there, yeah, see, they're listening to the stream. Hey, oi, Reynor, turn off the stream. God damn it. Es the Reynor. But yes, they got there in the end. They got there. It has to be Trigger. Este Ricardo. For now though, hatch gas pool, getting into our 2-base saturation, just setting up standard opener so far here by Reynor. Standard opener. Let's poke in, so far going to be zoned away. Like us behind this, we do have our standard opener here out of Clem going for a third CC before Starport economic start here. So far so good. Everything's looking as it should. As we are just getting into our regular openers, nothing fancy yet. Selling in towards the mid-game. Welcome one and all to Tokamak. Tokamak is one of the larger maps in the map pool, of course. Larger map, longer rush distance by ground. A little more defendable here on 4 bases as well. As Reaper does poke in, doesn't quite get the tumor. And not quite going to be zoned away. Going to be forced back. I see in the chat, Showtime Tour is Beyond, that's good. Yeah, yes, we were discussing that earlier, how recently Beyond has been having a more dominant performance against Showtime, especially in Sparkling Tunic Cups. So it's a big win for Showtime to get his revenge, to bring down Beyond. For sure. Solid result. As behind this Clem going 3CC Banshee. Okay, so Banshee production has begun. Did go for the add-on swap. He's not going for earlier stim. He's not going for an earlier second Rex. He's not going for a 2-on-1 variation. So pretty standard play here by Clem. Pretty standard. This would also keep him safe against something like a Roach base opener. But as we mentioned in the lead up to this series, Reynor, he's not really one that enjoys playing Roach. And he's rushing into the lair. That is a, Jesus, that is a 4:15 lair timing. Ay. So very early lair here by Reynor. And if you remember, we spoke about the style that he was going for, about Reynor going Ling into Infestor, into early Hive, and skipping Roaches, skipping Banelings as well. I'm curious if that's going to be the case here. We'll keep an eye on his gases, we'll keep an eye on Reynor. But again, he's been quite a greedy boy. And we spoke about how Beyond did punish him quite hard last week. And I was curious to see how Clem would compare. It's like, oh, it's Clem. He's doing what he does best. He's meching it up. Kappa. Aye, aye, aye. We have seen Clem play mech before, and yeah, we're gonna... Oh, boy. Okay. Okay. So he's throwing down extra factories. We're going to be getting into, I would imagine, Battle Mech. There we go. We have Hyperflight Rotors on the way. Oh, so it's going to be the Banshee variation of Battle Mech out of Clem. Meanwhile, we do have a safety Baneling Nest here out of Reynor. Double Evo Chamber. What was the faster lair for, though? Again, that was... As they're just going for the Overseer Scout. I mean, Reynor's still in the dark, true. Really, is this what Clem learned in Korea? Is this? Oh no, not like this. The Korean influence. Aye. He's like, yo, all the turns are doing it in GSL, so I may as well do it as well. True. Feels beyond Maru and Gumiho, man. Hellions, they poke in, they do punish the Zerglings, they're busting into the mineral line. And Reynor, he's been greedy, he's been skipping lanes. He has been skipping them, they bust on in, drone's gonna be going down, and the drones are stacking. Oh my god, 9 drone kills already. Did I say 9? Getting up to 12. Oh, and they do stack for a moment, but thankfully the Zerglings they pop out just in time. And Reynor holds. Reynor, he holds, he defends, it will clean up all the Hellions. That could have been so much worse, despite that 13 workers still do fall. Triple Banshee is revealed. Reynor, he has yet to go into the main, yet to confirm, but seeing all the Hellions, he should have an idea. Yeah, plus on range on the way, so he's getting to no Roach Warren, he's going into Ling Hydra. This is a bit of an older school response to Battle Mech. I mean, I say older school response, I believe it is a correct response specifically against this Banshee form of mech, just for some anti-air. To go Ling Hydra Viper. It's just been a while since the style has been very in meta. It's been like a couple of years. So a couple of years ago when like TY and Ryung and a Bunny, they were messing around with it in GSL. Catching an Overlord supply, blocking Reynor. Yo, Clem, he really wants to pay for KPBQ today. True. Ugh, it's gonna be a cancel. Denies the expansion. Reynor, his creep is barely spreading out on the map. It's barely connecting the bases. It's barely any creep whatsoever. I mean, that's the power here of Battle Mech. You have map control. You bully back the Zerg. And again, I'm not entirely convinced here by the Ling Hydra setup. It's a very fragile composition. But again, as I mentioned, like it's a little bit more necessary just because of all the mutas. Sorry, I should say all the Banshees. As Hydras are trying to collapse in, that's a lot of Zerglings coming in as well. They take down all the Hellions. There's 3 Hellions left. Getting on top of the Cyclones. Better catch here from Reynor. Get 1, 2, 3 Cyclones going down. Very nice pickups. Most of the Hydras do survive. Oh, but the Banshees are coming for intercept. No detection! No detection! The Overseer's now coming in. Overseer's out of position. Hydra's going down. Ay. That's how many else? 15 Hydras for 1 Banshee. 1 Banshee, 5 Cyclones. Yeah, a lot of losses there for Reynor. Clem still rallying in. Banshees at rotate once again to knock down the expansion. Once again containing Reynor. And Reynor, he's hurting. Reynor, he's in a lot of danger here. He's setting up for the surround. I just don't know if he has enough Zerglings, I'll be honest. He's gonna try to commit here. Does catch out some of the army, but oh god, yeah, the leaks they just melt. They just get roasted. Well, uploads are brutal. He got more Hydras. One of the Banshees, let's go down. And Clem is going to be the first to max. He's going to be the first to max out. As that was another 13 Hydras falling. 10 more on the way. Once again, I'm loving this around setup. Better catch. Yeah, much better here for Reynor. Takes down one, another two, another three Cyclones. We're running out of Lings, though. They're running out of Zerglings. The Hydras, they overextend. Reynor, he should not be out here. And GG gets called. He does overextend. And Clem, he will take game number 1. Whew. GG. Clem, he does take a lead in the series. Again, Reynor just too many losses. He could not expand. He lost map control early on as well. Brutal damage at the start of the game. Remember losing 13 drones. And Reynor, he was on the back foot. He was on the back foot. He was up against the wall. Things were looking a little bit bleak there. Going into the thing, Hydra can really excel. But to actually get that going, you do need a lot of lava, you need a good economy, you need some map control, some momentum to be able to, flourish, to be able to be active on the map. But last, he was just stuck on the back foot. He never really built up a solid link count. The links are so crucial to be able to surround and lock down the army. Without them, the Hydras, they couldn't really engage, and they were exposed as well. They were vulnerable. GG. GG, well played. With that, Clem, he'll take a lead in the series, and we'll see if he can clean this up, or we'll see if Reynor can fight back and force the ace match. See if he can fight back. And I'm most curious by the map we're going to be loading into. Where are we going to be loading in? What's the plan? As we are going to be getting into Ultra Love. Okay, a much smaller map. A much smaller map in the map pool here. And a much more aggressive map as well. We'll see how our players do adjust. I do actually really like Clem going to mech specifically against Reynor. Like, if Reynor is just really fond of delaying Banelings and of skipping Roaches and going into this like Ling Hydra, or sorry, I should say Ling into Ultra style, then something like mech can shut him down early on. But we'll see if Reynor plays Roaches on Ultra Love. Like, Roach play and Roach all-ins are very common on Ultra Love. So we'll see if he does embrace it here as well. Let's go. Here we go. When it comes to the rest of the bracket, it is slowly progressing, so we'll get there. We'll catch up on the rest of the bracket after this series. We'll get there. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have the Red Terran player. We have the Red Terran. We have the French Terran representing Team Liquid, leading the series 1-0. It is Clem. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have your opponent. We have his opponent. We have the Italian Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg representing Basilisk. It is Reynor. Okay. We go. As again, Clem was able to flex his mech in that last game, but I don't know if he's going to rely on it here in this series. Again, we'll see how Reynor does adjust. We'll see how he does adapt. Does Reynor play Roach? We're here to find out. Let's go. So far, Hatch Gas full. Standard opener out of Reynor. Likewise, Clem going for his own Rax Expand. Calming down. Okay, what has Korea done to you, Clem? Ah, no. Meching it up. Not like this. Oh, God. But otherwise, outside of that, yeah, it's great to see both Clem and Reynor being active like this as well. We were talking earlier about there are some players that do avoid playing in tournaments, especially in the lead up to EWC. We were talking about Cyril, we were talking about Hero, more importantly, just because Hero, it's so uncharacteristic for him to not be competing in the weeklies. But again, he has taken a lot of time away from weeklies in recent times, specifically for EWC. But now that Clem and Reynor are in Korea, I mean, Clem is always playing in these, but now that Reynor's in Korea, now Reynor, he, I guess, has been motivated by everyone else, by his housemates, to compete, to take part, to show up for these tournaments. Which I'm sure all appreciate. Just so we get a little bit more Zerg in the tournaments. Ah, it's beautiful. Do appreciate it. As the first Reaper does get across the map, takes on the first Zergling. And I speak up here from Clem. Takes on the Zergling, pulls away. Behind this third CC before Starport. Economic build here by Clem. So once again, going for the third CC. Last game, if you recall, this led into a tech lab, into an add-on swap into Cloak Banshee. And then we did not stop making Banshees. He just kept going into mech. So we'll see if Clem does something similar. There we go. Tech lab is on the way. Reynor, he did go lair first last game, if you recall. Went for the 4:15-ish lair timing. Before Evo Chambers, before Bailey Nest. Point that out, just see if they do deviate or if they commit to the same openers and the same builds. So Clem is poking in. There's the add-on swap once again, Cloak Banshee. Now this doesn't mean that it's going to be mech, but it does mean that mech is a possibility, right? You can go from 1-1-1 into 2 more factories into mech. It is available here to Clem. After winning game 1, he might just do it again. Might just have some fun. It's possible. Tech lab on the racks, which should be for Stim. Should be. And there it is. He's throwing down 2 more axes. He's going into bio. Now, I do actually appreciate this a lot more in this matchup, specifically on Ultra Love. Araxes has been quite trendy, quite popular here in TvZ, and Araxes, they get it very hard on Ultra Love. We spoke earlier how Ultra Love is a smaller map and aggression is favored, and that applies to Araxes as well, for sure. Does apply to Araxes. Meanwhile, faster Eva Chamber out of Reynor. Okay, so it's going to be Eva Chamber first into a bit of a later lair compared to last game. Going into, I would imagine, an earlier +1 carapace. There we go, carapace is on the way. Have our 2 E-base here out of Clem. Getting into 1-1 upgrades. I'm pretty sure this early carapace is going to lead into pure Ling without banelings, but we'll keep an eye on Reynor. I'm concerned if that's the case. Banshees are back forward. Hellions have rotated over towards the 3rd base. 4th is on the way. We'll see if Clem can force a cancel. Spore does respond in time. Queens are being kept busy. 1 Hellion goes down. Ooh, and the base is still within range of the Banshees. Oh my god, does force a cancel. Yeah, massive pickoff, and yep, there it is. So +1 carabase into Infestation Pit. If you were here at the start of the series, and even in the previous one, if you recall, I was bringing up the fact that Reynor, he has been going for this more mass Ling into Infestor, into Ultra style, that Beyond did punish last week. That's what we're seeing here. That's why we have the Infestation Pit already done. This is for the Fast Hive. I should say, for safety Infestors, and there it is, Fast Hive. That is a 6:25 Hive timing. Reynor's been doing this for the past couple of weeks, with mixed success. Now, I am concerned about how, I'm curious to see how this faces off against something like an 8-Rax, assuming that Clem is going to be aggressive here. We have the armory on the way. We have a 5-rack setup so far. Now, if Clem is passive, then Reynor will get away with Ultra Tech. That's only if Clem is passive, though. Clem is pushing. He's moving out. Now, when it comes to this move out here, there is a lot riding on the Infestors, right? We have a couple of Infestors on the way. There's going to be a lot riding on those Fungals. Bearing in mind, when I say Ling into Ultra, I mean it. What I mean by that, no Banelings. No Banelings, no Baneling speed, purely Ling Infestor Ultra. Ooh, that's a kill! Yeah, that's a kill and a cancel. Ling's attempting to counterattack. So far, Clem is in position. He does defend. This is a nice pickoff here, but even though this is a nice pickoff, he has to get more damage done. Now, he still has more time. Like, the Hive is now complete. Now there's the Ultra Graven that we spoke about, but it takes a while for the Ultra Graven to come online and for the Kindness Blade to come online as well. Force CC. He's not A-Raxing. He's not A-Raxing. Clem is being passive. I say passive. He's taking into a longer game, which means Reynor should get away with this. Should be able to. I say that here comes the 8-minute push here from Clem. He hits with 1-1, not with 2-2. And he can still break through. Reynor going for a massive counterattack instead. He knows he cannot fight. Yeah, Reynor, he cannot fight head on. He does go for the counterattack instead. Reynor, he gives up with the expansion. Likewise, so does Clem. SCV's going to be going down. That's going to be a lot of SCV kills. And Clem needs more. He needs more than this. Takes down a base, that's nice and all, but he hasn't killed any workers. He needs more damage. Ultras are on the way. Clem, he turns back around. Ultra production underway. Kindness plating is almost done as well. And I'm pretty sure Clem is familiar with this style from Reynor. I'm pretty sure. Like, if we know about it, then Clem should as well. And we'll see how he compares. I mean, because he had a 4th CC, he's already got Marauder production, so he will have something here for the Ultras. No Ghost Academy yet. Knocks down the expansion once again. Nice pickups. I mean, he has been knocking down a lot of bases. True. A lot of expansions have been falling. He just hasn't been killing drones. And now he spots the Ultras. Now he has confirmation. If he didn't know before, now he knows 100%. Catching out Zerglings. Fungal does connect. Oh, the Ultra should not be here. Getting caught out. Does have to pull away. That's going to be a kill. Not a cancel. And yeah, Reynor, he's falling apart. He's falling apart here, losing base after base. Expansion after expansion. None of the base is going to be going down. Nice thing run by. Does hit the mineral line, but there are plenty of reinforcements. And Clem turns around. He turns around. He killed another expansion. Once again, he didn't kill the drones. Once again, the worker count is still okay for Reynor. But he's not mining. He's not mining. There's no bases to mine from. This is a bit of a slower, methodical approach here from Clem. And we'll see if it hurts him in the end. Like, so far, Clem has been in control. But all it takes is one bad fight. All it takes is one strong engagement from Reynor on creep with Fungals and with all these Ultras, and he can take a fight. But that's what Reynor's relying on, to be fair. Like, to be honest, it's like he's relying on one big fight because he's been just losing so much. And Reynor doesn't have a bank. So Reynor's got one shot, one opportunity. So make it count. As Clem moves out, Lings, they move in for a run by. Once again, they're going for the mineral line. Ultra's pushing forward. Lings, they bust into the natural. They get into the natural base. SCV's going to be going down. Clem, he does turn around with some reinforcements. Okay, he turns around, he's going to be okay. Shouldn't lose too much. Building up more Marauders. Still no Ghost Academy, but he's got Marauders and soon to be Liberators as well. He's up with the Zerglings. We have +3 on the way. +3 carapace. Again, one fight. Reynor's got one good fight in it. How many infestors? 2. It's not a lot of fungals. 2 infestors. Clem rotates, knocks down the expansion. With pre-siege liberators, I'll be honest, I'm having a harder and harder time seeing this work, but it's a lot of ultras. He's got 10. 10 ultras from Reynor. It's gonna be go time. He has to engage. What am I just set? Tanks as well, so the liberators. Oof, 1 ultra goes down. Down to 9. 9 ultras left. One more on the way. Yeah, and this is not going to be enough. Like, ideally, it's not about Reynor pushing into this. If Reynor can catch the army on creep and land a fungal, then sure, he can do it. But pushing into a pre-siege position like this, it should not work for Reynor. It should not work. He's going for it. The army kites back, takes down the ultras. Mine just going up. Nice fungal. Get the flanking fungal. Oh god! The fungal does a lot of damage. 1 swipe away. He doesn't get it. Doesn't get it. GG gets called. Clem, he will overwhelm, and Clem, he will take the series 2-0. GG. GG, well played. I was curious to see if Reynor was going to go for this Ling Ultra style, and yep, did it here as well. Again, we've been seeing it for the past couple of weeks. I was curious to see how Clem would handle it, and Clem, he had a much more, I should say, a calm approach compared to Beyond. Like, Beyond, he was a little more aggressive, a little more intense, a little more adamant about shutting Reynor down before ultras. Here, Clem, he was a little more content with just getting a base, backing off, getting another base, backing off. Hey, you're gonna have ultras, that's fine. You're not gonna have an economy anyway. I'm gonna just take a slower approach, again, more methodical and more clinical, and yeah, GG. GG, well played. Really impressive play there by Clem, really impressive shutdown, and with that, Clem does claim the series. With that, he does advance on into the semis. Into the semifinals, we're going to be following Clem into those semis. He already has his next opponent waiting for him. It's going to be Clem versus MaxPax in a TVP. There we go. Personally, I'm still not entirely convinced by that style or by that build from Reynor, just because we've seen it struggle a little bit. I do think that its biggest strength was when it first hit the field, when players were first playing against it, when they weren't familiar with it. But at this point, I feel like a lot of the top Koreans have, or sorry, top Terran players, I should say, have now been able to witness it firsthand, have more experience with it, and now have a better idea of how to handle that kind of style. At least it feels to be the case. But here we go. Here we go. Exclamation mark. Be in the chat if you guys don't have a look back yourselves.